Hi everybody, welcome to your practice. My name is Jess and today I'm so excited to take you through this foundational spicy strength flow. You will need 2 blocks for your practice, so if you have those, grab them. If you don't, you can kind of stack up books. It's really just to get yourself elevated so that we can work on some more strength building in a unique and more accessible way. If you like classes like this, please consider subscribing to my channel or sharing with a friend so that we could practice together more often. And if you'd like to come on a yoga retreat with me or do a one-on-one training or just dive deeper into your practice, you can find me at jrockyoga.com and on Instagram at jrockyoga. Let's get to it. I'll see you on the other side. Let's get started today on our backs. So you can come down onto your back any way that's comfy. And you can lay in Shavasana with your legs straight, or if that's a little much, you can take your feet mat width apart and let your knees drop inward toward one another. And then let your arms open up into a receptive place. I like to put mine in kind of a cactus goalpost shape. And just allow your body to start to drop. Begin to arrive here on your mat. And begin to notice your breath moving throughout your body. And the more you notice your breath, the closer you get to this moment, the closer you get to yourself. And for our practice together today, I invite you to let go of expectations of what this practice should or what you'd like this practice to be or look like. And I invite you to be present with each movement, each breath, and do the best you can for you in that moment. I find that when I release expectations in my practice, that's where the magic happens. When I show up, I'm consistent, things kind of poof, magically into thin air, poses I wasn't working on, and peaceful states of mind. So today I invite you to release your expectations and drop into your breath with me. Let's take one more breath in through your nose, big inhale. And this time, open your mouth, big sigh. Begin to wiggle your fingers and start to pull one knee into your chest and then the other. And then wrap yourself into a teeny tiny little ball, hugging your forehead to your knees and pressing your low back down into the earth. Like a big hug. Arms wrap around your shins. And then slowly release your head and neck to the ground and float your knees up over your hips. I have this big window here and the sun is like blinding. So I hope you can see me all right. But bring your knees up over your hips and have your knees bent at a 90-degree angle. And I want you to notice if your knees, when you put them over your hips, they come back on an angle towards your face. If they do, try and keep them right above your hips. That's gonna make it a little bit harder, but great for your lower core engagement. And then take your hands and interlace them at the back of your head. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. And you can kind of support your head with your hands. Don't pull on it, but just support. And before we do anything, take a breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to think about hollowing your low belly and sending your tailbone toward the bottom of your mat. And then inhale again. Can you lengthen, almost like the spine is getting longer, by pressing your low back down? And as you exhale, find that hollowing. Good. Take an inhale again. And this time, as you exhale, keep that hollowing, but just tap your right toes down toward the earth, and then bring them back up. Now tap your left toes, and bring them back up. If you're really curling in through the core, this should be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you're lifting your shoulders. Tap your right toes and back up. Tap your left toes and back up. One more each side, right toes and left toes Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lift your heart up toward the sky. Try and lift your tailbone up off the ground, scoop and hollow. And then lower everything down toward the mat. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a little hug, a little love. And then start to rock and roll. So use the core that we just activated. Try not to lead with jutting your chin out, but use the core and play a little bit. Make it fun. If you need to use your hands, that's completely fine. Rock and roll until you feel ready enough to cross your ankles, roll over the tops of your feet, and come back to an all fours position. Nice, very good. And then adjust when you get here. Spread your finger bones wide. Shoulders are over your wrists and hips are above your knees. As you inhale, begin to drop your belly down toward the earth, gaze forward or up. And as you exhale, round and curl. Think about hollowing like a Halloween cat. A Halloween cat. And then inhale, untuck your tail, gaze forward, heart goes forward. Exhale, round like your forehead wants to touch your pubic bone. Inhale, open, dipping the back of your heart through the front of your heart. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. We're gonna add on, pause for your exhale, because you might have exhaled already. And then as you inhale, slowly glide your sitting bones back towards your heels. You might need to walk your arms out or your hands out a little further. And then as you inhale, press onto your shins, come up to all fours, and start to dip your hips down toward the earth. Bend into the elbows a little bit, and then shoot your heart through your arms, gaze goes up. Exhale, press into your hands, hollow through your core, round and press back, child's pose. Inhale, coming forward, slowly dripping your hips down, bending the elbows, shooting your heart forward. Maybe gaze goes up. Exhale, think Halloween cat, forehead toward pubic bone, round back, child's pose. One more, inhale forward. Make it yours. Exhale back. The next time you inhale forward, pause. Tuck your toes and exhale back to your downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of our practice together here today. So think about getting out all the little scribbles, the wiggles. Maybe you're practicing in the morning and you just woke up, so maybe you want to sway your hips from left to right, bending your knees. Maybe you swish your jaw around. And just allow whatever your body tells you to be okay. Practice tuning in and listening deeply to yourself. I'm here to guide you, but you know your body best, and if you don't, we're here to learn how to know your body best. Settle into your version of stillness. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose, and an exhale. As you inhale, really lift through your tailbone, tilting it up toward the sky. And as you exhale, press the ground away through your hands, elongate. Inhale and exhale. Slowly start to walk your hands back toward your feet. Place them on your shins, press away. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, waterfalling over your bent knees. Halfway lift once again, pull the back of your heart through the front of your heart. Big inhale. Exhale, fold. Last one, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. This time bend your knees, roll one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to stand. Press through your feet. Reach your arms up over your head. Maybe your gaze follows your thumbs. Big stretch. Exhale, draw your thumbs past your third eye, down into your heart center. A gentle bow of your chin to your chest. Bowing your brain to the wisdom of your heart. And if it feels safe for you, close down your eyes. Welcome an intention into your practice today. Allow your intention to be close to who you are, your soul, your heart. What is it, if you deeply listen, that you would like to welcome more of into your life right now? Take a few breaths and allow that intention to integrate and flow through the cells of your body. Slowly begin to release your hands down by your sides and blink your eyes open. Standing tall, spreading the finger bones, finding really active from toes all the way out the crown of your head, mountain pose. And this pose is in every pose we do. So how we do one pose is how we do them all. So really press the ground away, knit your ribs in, and stand tall, stand proud. Inhale, circle your arms up over your head, big stretch, maybe you look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward, little bend in the knees. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, walk your hands back out to your downward facing dog. And I invite you now to take your blocks and place them on your mat where your hands would be in your downward facing dog. Beautiful, so this is gonna give you a little bit of lift. And don't be shy. Even if you have a little bit more of an advanced practice, this will give you more space and you might be able to access some things you wouldn't be able to access with your palms flat on the ground. And once you figure out how to engage while you're on the blocks, that might transfer into hands off the blocks. So press your heart back towards your thighs, little baby bend in the knees, big stretch, inhale, exhale. As you inhale, lift all the way up onto your tippy toes and think about hollowing through your belly. Get as high as you can onto your tippy toes. Press the ground away through your hands, and then suction your right thigh up into your belly, and then step your right toes in front of your left. Suction your left thigh up into your belly, and step your left toes forward. And keep doing this very intentionally, so we're not just stepping, we're really pulling in, using our core to compress, and then as our feet get closer to our hands, we need to press more into our hands, grip more with our fingertips. We might already be building. When you get as close as you can to your hands, pause, lift onto your tippy toes, press down into your hands, fold inwards, squeeze core to thighs, and then exhale, release your heels to the ground. Whoo! Inhale, hands on blocks, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press and rise all the way up to stand. And as you exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward and fold. As you inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant your hands onto your blocks and step one foot back, then the other, high plank on your blocks. Press the ground away. Knit your low ribs into your abdominal wall and press, 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 grip, grip, grip with your fingers. Don't forget about your legs, thighs are active. Take an inhale here. Glide to your tippy toes. As you exhale, lower through your chaturanga, all the way to your belly, in between your blocks. Whoo. Untuck your toes. Your hands are on your blocks right now, keep them there, but hug your elbows back and down. Press down through the tops of your feet and feel your kneecaps lift so the bottom half of your body is very active. Hollow in through your core, and then as you inhale, lift your hands off your blocks. Squeeze your elbows back. Good, breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, reach your arms forward through the blocks. Place your forehead on the ground, rest. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale, press through the tops of your feet. Engage your core, lift and float your hands back over the blocks. Squeeze your elbows towards your rib cage and back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, plant your hands on the blocks. And as you inhale, lift into a cobra. Maybe you lift into an upward facing dog. I have to adjust my feet, bring them a little forward, so find your adjustments. Micro bend your elbows and inhale to shoot your heart forward. Notice how much space you have here to really stretch into your front body. Take another inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Press firmly into your hands. Start to suction your left leg this time. Let's start with the left leg up, and then step your left toes forward. Suction your right leg up. Step your right toes forward. Left leg, And keep going, all the way until you get to the top. Keep pressing more into your hands. Round your back like a cat a little bit. Think about hollowing through your core. When you get as close as you can, lift as high as you can, press down, and work your chest towards your thighs. Breathe. And then plant your heels down. Fold. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold once again. Inhale, rise all the way up. A little spicy today. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply, and as you inhale, lift into your chair pose. Send your tailbone back, lift your heart up, activate through your fingers. Be here, right, so if your breath is a little choppy from our slow walk, see if you can slow it down. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in, look up. Exhale, plant your hands and step back, high plank. Pause for your inhale, glide forward to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Slow your breath. Slow your heart rate. Relax your neck and unclench your jaw. Notice the parts of your body that are touching the earth and ground down into them. Step your left foot center. Inhale your right leg all the way up toward the sky. Maybe a baby bend in your standing leg so that you can really squeeze through your inner thighs and lift one more inch. Okay, take a nice big inhale here, and as you exhale, keep your right leg as straight as you can. Come up onto your bottom tippy toes. Keep your right leg straight, straight, straight as long as you can until you step right inside the right block. Inhale, crescent lunge. Rise all the way up. As you exhale, goal post your arms. See if you can send your tailbone back and your heart forward, finding a little bit of lift. So opposite action of what we do when we walk and tippy toe to the front of the mat. We're finding a little opening here. And then as you inhale, knit your ribs in. And as you exhale, both hands come down to your blocks. Come up onto your back tippy toes. Maybe you rock onto your front heel. Press and round like a cat. And then lift and step your right heel back. Downward facing dog. As you inhale, glide forward to a high plank. And as you exhale, drop both of your heels over to the right. Bend your knees firmly and plant your whole right foot on the mat. As you inhale, lift your left arm up off your block and spike your left knee up toward the sky. Press down through your right knuckle and left arm goes over your ear. Think about spiraling your heart up as you press your arm down and forward. Beautiful. And then your bottom foot really presses away to fully activate. If you'd like, straighten your left leg up toward the sky. Slowly bring your left hand back down to the block and draw your left knee to your outer right tricep. See how much more space you have with the blocks? Look at all this space. Drop your back heel down to the left. Bend into your left knee a little bit, and then shoot your right arm up and over your right ear. Extend your left leg out toward the left. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Beautiful, little arcing. Hello, plant. And then both hands come back down to the block. High plank to low plank. Inhale into your upward. Exhale into your downward. Take a cleansing breath in and a grounding breath out. Your right foot steps center and inhale your left leg high. Maybe a baby bend in your right knee so that you can squeeze the inner thighs together and lift one more inch. Keeping your left leg as straight as you can, come up onto your right tippy toes. And see if you can straight leg by pressing the ground away, really lifting your right heel. Step in between your blocks, closer to your left hand. Get your feet situated and inhale, rise, crescent lunge. As you exhale, goal post your arms, stick your tailbone back and shoot your heart forward and up. Press off your back toes. Find opening in your front body. Inhale, reach back up, knit your ribs in, and exhale, hands frame your left foot. Come up onto your back tippy toes, rock onto your front heel. Press the ground away, press your hands into your blocks, and suction your straight leg back. Downward facing dog. As you inhale, ripple forward to an almost plank. And as you exhale, drop both of your heels to the left, bend your knees, anchor your whole left foot on the ground. Inhale, right arm, right knee up toward the sky. Press, press, press your first and thumb knuckle down into the block. Feel your left bicep spiraling forward and open. And then maybe your bottom foot presses away and you really arc. Your underside, your left side is really arcing up. Your heart is spiraling toward the ceiling, and maybe you straighten your top leg. Slowly bring your right hand back to your block and draw your right knee to your outer left tricep. Drop your back heel down, rolling onto your right hand, bend into your standing leg, and then extend your right leg, squeeze your inner thighs, and extend your left arm over your ear. Press the ground away, big arc. Take one more inhale, I know it's spicy. And as you exhale, high plank. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Enjoy the deeper stretch that the blocks give you. Exhale, back. Deep breath in. Long breath out. As you inhale, come up to your tippy toes, press the ground away through your hands. Suction your right leg in and up and step your toes forward. Left leg suctions in and up and they step forward. Keep pressing the ground away. And really get your toes as close to your hands as possible. When you get there, stay on the toes, press, press, press the ground away. Hollow through your belly, lift your heels. Lift your heels, lift your heels. And then drop your heels, fold. Halfway lift, stretch it out, inhale. Exhale to fold. Right away, chair pose, bend your knees, sit down. And as you exhale, stand. As you inhale, circle your arms up, collect your energy, stretch. And as you exhale, bow forward and fold all the way down. Halfway lift, breathe in. And as you exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Take a vinyasa, or skip it and meet in down dog. You'll find your way. Vinyasas are optional, you can always hold plank. Do what feels good. Step your left foot center and inhale your right leg all the way up toward the sky. Little baby bend in your bottom leg and lift through your right toes. Keeping your right leg as straight as you can, come up onto your bottom tippy toes. Start to hug your thigh bone in to its socket and straight leg step your right foot forward. Inhale to your crescent lunge. Warrior two as you exhale. Opening up through your arms, take a peek at your legs. Right heel is in line with the middle of your back foot. Crown of head is reaching forward, hips are softening down. Steady your breath. Reconnect. Inhale, flip your front palm and reverse as you exhale. As you inhale, start to reach your right hand forward. You might need to toe heel your back foot in a little bit, and then reach your right hand down. I'm gonna grab a block and take it with me for half moon. Since we're using the blocks, we might as well use them for everything. I love a block in half moon. It gives you so much space. Spread your toes on the left foot, spread your fingers on your left hand. Really press the ground away and then get light. The rest is yours. Dance with the air, breathe in and breathe out. As you inhale, maybe the left arm reaches over your ear and you even get longer and extend. Maybe just like side plank, you spiral your heart up toward the sky, shoulder blades hug on your back. And keeping this extension, start to bend your bottom leg. With grace, with control, we step our left foot to the back of our mat, turn the toes a little bit towards the back diagonal, bend into our left knee, extend our right, and sit down. Skandasana. Nice. So first Skandasana of our practice. Love this pose. Have a baby bend in your extended leg. So if it's not bent and it's kind of locked out, we can't engage our muscles, and that doesn't allow us to be buoyant and have this lifting energy. Because we want to be able to access our muscles in all of our yoga poses to protect our joints and to be able to transition safely and in a fun way. So really squeeze heel to heel, little baby bend in your right knee. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, pivot to the back of your mat to a runner's lunge. Slowly start to drop your hips down, place your back knee down, and then come up onto your fingertips, scooping your heart forward. As you exhale, lift your back heel, straighten your front leg, and scissor your hips, right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, drop your knee, press your feet away from one another, lift and open your heart. Exhale, hips high, scissor your hips. Last one, inhale all the way down. Exhale. And this time, halfway lift with your front leg straight. And exhale, reach your heart towards your big toe. Maybe just a bend at your elbows. You don't have to get your belly to your big thigh. It's more about moving forward into our pose. As you inhale, repivot and bend into your Skandasana. Right toes turn up, hands to heart. Use the buoyancy of your legs and the squeezing of your heels to transfer the weight back forward and come into your low runner's lunge, replacing your right block under your hand. Yes. Inhale, scoop your heart forward. And now exhale, I'm gonna ask you to toe heel your right foot a little bit back and out to the right. Turn both of your toes to the right and start to drop your hips down. This is one of my favorite stretches, and with a block, it is divine. It gives you so much more space to stretch your QL. So flex both of your feet first of all and press into the razor sharp edges of them so you're really firm, and then allow your hips to sink down and allow your left shoulder to kind of shrug up towards your left ear. As you do that, you can almost think about hugging your shoulder blades together and extending your right arm back. Sometimes I like to take my right hand and press it onto the top of my right thigh, pressing it away. This is one of those stretches that you'll have to wiggle around in, because when I lean my heart forward a little bit and I get this opposite rotation, I feel a big deep stretch through my backside body. So take a few breaths here and just allow yourself to open as time goes. So not forcing our way into dipping our hips all the way down. Maybe we take a few breaths and we reassess. And once we reassess, we realize that a pathway has opened and our body is allowing us to go a little deeper. Slowly starting to press into the edges of our feet. Let's lift our hips all the way up, right arm over your ear, big stretch. And then take your right hand to your block, replace your right foot in between your blocks, halfway lift. Rock up onto your back toes and rock back onto your front heel. Pull your straight leg up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to inhale up onto our tippy toes for I think the last time today, so make it count. Really be intentional. Lift your left toes up. Step them in front of your right. Lift your right toes up, step them forward. Really press the ground away. Think about biceps spiraling forward, hugging your fingertips towards your palms so that you have nice strong shoulders. When you get all the way up to the top, hold, lift your heels, and then think about maybe micro bending your knees and hugging your heart towards your toes. Hips high, press the ground away. Feet down, ooh, fold. Spicy, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Chair pose, inhale, we're here. Stand tall, exhale, we rise. Sweep your arms up overhead, stretch big. Exhale, swan dive forward and fold. Halfway lift, back of heart, pulls through front of heart, inhale. High plank, exhale. Inhale to prepare Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Use the block, stretch deep and stretch forward. Downward facing, exhale. As you inhale, right foot steps center, float your left leg up toward the sky. Baby bend in your right knee, really lifting through your top leg. Come up onto your bottom tippy toes, keep your left leg as straight as you can, suction your hip into the socket, and step your straight left leg in between your blocks. Crescent lunge, rise. Warrior two. Set up your feet, and then allow your breath to slow. Allow your focus to be soft. Maybe your gaze sharpens over your left middle finger, and everything else softens. Inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, half moon, reaching your left hand for the block, maybe stepping your back toes in a little bit more. I'm gonna take the block with me. Sound effects always help. Right hand up to the sky. Right toes spread and reach back. Really pressing the ground away through your bottom extremities, reaching up through your top ones. Where can you make space? Explore that and then dance with your breath, dance with the air. All the little muscles working, let them. Extend your right arm over your ear, reaching, lengthening out the pose even more. Spiraling your heart up to the sky. Start to bend into your standing leg, go slow. How slow can you step your right foot to the back of your mat? Pivot so that the toes point a little bit back. Transfer the weight to your back leg, Skandasana. Right knee bent, left toes flex. Again, bend your knee and find some buoyancy. So we're not sinking, we're lifting, or we can lift. If we're not lifting, we have the ability to. Or we're working on the ability to. So squeezing our heels together, maybe we don't even lift at all, but that is the beginning step. The beginning step is doing it. Take an inhale here. Exhale, pivot to the back of your mat. Low runner's lunge. Halfway lift, scoop your heart forward, drop your hips slow until your back knee touches the ground. Really just enjoy this stretch, press your feet away from one another. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift your back knee, scissor your legs, right hip back, left hip forward, and bow. Inhale, press your feet away from one another, drop your back knee, heart scoops up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, hips high, fold over your straight leg. Last one, inhale, scoop. Exhale, straighten. Beautiful, this time stay straight. Inhale, up onto your fingertips. Exhale, gently bend your elbows and scoop your heart forward. So find length through your heart instead of rounding. Really pressing the ball mound of our right big toe forward and away from us as we rock our right hip back. Finding some length. Inhale, slowly rebend into your front knee, pivot to the left, Skandasana, right knee bent, left toes flex. Find your buoyancy, squeeze your heels toward one another, press off your right foot, and transfer the weight back to runner's lunge, replacing your left block underneath your left hand. Beautiful. Halfway lift, just to stretch it out. And then exhale, I'd like for you to walk your left foot back a little bit so the blocks aren't in the way. Turn both of your toes to the left side of your mat, and then drop your hips sequentially down toward the earth. And if you feel really scrunchy in your shoulder, like almost too scrunchy, you can wiggle your hips back or you can move your block forward. And I want you to think about really finding that spot where you feel a stretch. And the stretch will come from the bottom of your right shoulder blade and maybe wrap all the way around to the front of your groin. It can be your QL, it can be your psoas. Flexing your feet, maybe reaching your left arm back. Explore your pose, get curious about your body. And know that the blocks allow a big depth here. Because otherwise you wouldn't have this much space for your hips to sink down and for the muscles to elongate, your hand would be planted and that would be stunted. So if this feels like it's just too much, you can remove the block as well. This is a sneaky SIZZLE class. We often think blocks make things easier, but blocks are tools. They're tools for us to advance. They're tools to make it easier, but they're also tools to turn it up. One more inhale. Press into the outer edges of your feet as you exhale. Lift your hips high, left arm over your ear. Return your left hand to your block and step your left foot or walk your left foot back in. Halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant both of your hands, come up onto your back toes, rock to your front heel, press the ground away and straight leg suction, step your left foot back. Down dog. Inhale, press and ripple forward, high plank. Now this time as you exhale, bend your knees, tilt your tailbone up and ripple back. Another, inhale up on your tippy toes, feel your low belly, mid belly, sternum, all the way. Exhale, bend your knees, tailbone up, ripple back. Last one, inhale forward. Exhale, ripple back. Pause and down dog, inhale. Exhale it out. Letting our spinal waves reset. Reset our body and reconnect us after all the core we've been doing, all the shoulders we've been doing. Step your left foot forward, and as you inhale, float your right leg up toward the sky. As you exhale, come up onto your left tippy toe. Keep your right leg straight and flex your toes up towards your shin. Try to tap the right block. Inhale back up. Exhale again, flex your foot, come up onto your left tippy toes and boop, tap the right block. One more, inhale up. And exhale, lift your hips, hollow your core, press the ground away. Boop. Now pull your knee to your nose. Whoosh. Oh yeah, strength. Slowly start to lower your right knee to a hover. Right before it touches, whoosh, back to your nose. One more, lower to a hover. Whoosh, up to your nose. Begin to place your right knee on the ground. Half pigeon. Well deserved. Scoot your left knee back a little bit. And you can even bring your blocks back here so that they're underneath your shoulders. For this variation of half pigeon, I'm not going to have my shin very parallel, but I like to keep my heel more central. If it feels good for you to have a more open shin, that's fine. Use your blocks, press the ground away, squeeze your inner thighs together and lift and open through your heart. As you exhale, we'll fold, but we'll come back. So allow yourself a full resting pigeon, whatever that means to you in your practice. And take a few breaths to slow it down, digest. Slowly walk your hands back, and they can come up on the blocks. Squeeze your inner thighs together, tuck your back toes if they're not tucked, and then find lifting, find a lightness, a buoyancy, like a little bounciness, right? And then pick up your back knee and try and step it back another inch, so that you're almost not on your knee, but you're on that fleshy part of your thigh, your quad right above your knee. And then think about squeezing your inner thighs, lift your heart, and maybe bend your back knee so that your heel is squeezing towards your bum. If this feels okay, I like to kind of move my block in front of me so that gives me stability, and then reach my left arm up and back for the inside of my left foot, like a C shape with your hand. Turn your elbow up to the sky, take an inhale, and as you exhale, flex your toes and draw your heel towards your bum. Once you have this, can you begin to rotate your torso back toward the front of your mat? Maybe your hand comes to floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Without slingshotting, release your back leg. Replace your blocks. Plant your hands on your blocks. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, pull your knee to your nose. Step back, down dog. Big breath in, cleansing breath out. On your next inhale, let's step our right foot center. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. As you exhale, come up onto your right tippy toes, the bottom tippy toes. Flex your left foot, toes to shin. And start to hollow your belly, press the ground away until you tap your left block. Whoosh. Inhale, back up, three-legged. Exhale, tap. Inhale, all the way up. Blocks make this easier. Exhale, tap. Knee to nose. Whoosh. Press the ground away, hollow, come up onto your very back tippy toes. Inhale, hover your left knee. Exhale, whoosh, knee to nose. One more, inhale, hover. Exhale, whoosh, knee to nose. This time, inhale, hover. Make your shin diagonal, half pigeon. We made it. Scoot your right knee back or scoot your left knee forward, making space in your pose. And bring your blocks underneath your shoulders. I am sweating. The sun is on me. I feel like it's summertime, but it's February. And in the Northeast, February is not summertime. So, as you inhale, lift and open your chest, squeeze your inner thighs together, find buoyancy. And as you exhale, bow forward. And just chill. Let this pigeon be nice. No need to try to go anywhere, or force or push or engage, just be here. Slowly start to walk your hands back up to your blocks. I might scooch a little forward so that I'm in the middle of my mat. And then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and think about stepping your back knee like an inch more back so that you're not on your knee anymore, but you're on the fleshy part above your knee. And then squeeze your inner thighs together, bend your back knee, squeeze your heel to your bum. Lift through your heart, inhale, reach your right arm forward, and exhale, send it back, C shape inside of your foot on the arch side. Start to point your elbow up to the sky, spread your toes, and then squeeze your heel to your bum. I'm going to move my block a little bit more forward for stability as I turn my torso forward. You could stop at any of these variations. You could have stopped at the proud pigeon without even bending your knee. So just know this is a journey, and it's kind of like a choose your own path. Everything I say, you can come with me, or you can work where you're at. Slowly release. Bring both of your blocks back underneath where you think your shoulders might go. Tuck your toes, inhale. Knee to nose, exhale. Down dog. Take a breath in, press off your toes, round forward. Down dog, ripple back, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring your feet together, heels touching, big toes slightly apart. Bend into your knees just a little bit, and then straighten. Bend into your knees just a little bit, and then straighten so that your shoulders kind of go above your wrists. Maybe you take a hop. And now we're not going for handstand here, because if you have a handstand you can, but the blocks make it like you need a lot more up to get your tailbone up over the back of your head. So just play with it, think about heels to bum, and if you do get up, press the ground away even more. But it's just for fun. This is more of a conditioning class, so that we can feel what it feels like to engage, to round, to jump, so that when we get back into our regular practice, we're ready. Let's take a few more. And when you're done, walk just regular, not tippy toe to the front of your mat, and fold. halfway lift, and as you exhale, sit down. You can move one of your blocks out of the way, thank goodness, and take the other block in between your hands. Have a nice bend in your knees, flex your toes up to the sky, and send your block out in front of you. Now, I want you to press the palms of your hands into the block so you feel your arms light up. Inhale, lift through your heart, and as you exhale, curl your tailbone forward and start to hollow through your belly. Beautiful. Take a moment here and just pause when you're about halfway. See if you can lift your heart a little bit, squeeze the block, and almost like it's pulling you. So it's like leverage. You can't go all the way down. Good. Take an inhale and exhale back up. This time, as you inhale, come halfway. Rotate your block over to the left and place your block on the middle setting like it's behind you. We're going to come into supported fish pose. So we'll take our upper body. So the block is going to be coming right in between your shoulder blades. And you might have to wiggle around a few times to see, and your head will waterfall off of your block. I like to support my head as I go back. And then let your arms fall out to either side. Maybe you take your feet together and drop your hips open, Supta Baddha Konasana. And just as much as we strengthen, we want to counter that with opening, the yin and the yang, the balance, so that our practice and our lives can be full. Because it's hard to have the good without the bad. It's hard to have freedom without the possibility of suffering. And so in our practice, we work to balance both elements, so that no matter where we are in our lives, we can find ourselves in our true center. The outward doesn't pull us away. Take your hands behind your head and just gently guide your head back up. You can put one forearm on the ground and grab the block, rolling all the way down. And then we're going to take waterfall pose on our block. So this is your choice what setting you'd like. You can have it on the lowest setting, middle setting. Maybe you come up onto your tippy toes and you have it on the highest setting. And you'll place the flat edge of the block on your sacrum. Your sacrum is just above your tailbone, and you'll know because it's like a flat shelf. So if you feel a little bit wobbly, maybe move the block a little up or a little down until you find that grounding onto the shelf. Once you feel stable, draw one knee into your chest and then the other, and then send both of your legs up toward the sky, and maybe your arms. And then have a bend in your arms and in your wrists, also a bend in your knees. And if it feels good, and you're not going to fall off the block, if you feel stable, take a little wiggle with your feet and your hands. Nothing too intense, just to feel the movement, to give it a little shake, to get our prana and our energetic body moving in a different way. Letting the energy and the effort flow out of our feet and out of our hands, giving them a break. When you feel like stopping the wiggle, stop the wiggle and just hang. Feeling any sensations, any glow, any afterglow that arises. And being with that. When it feels right, your arms can come down and then begin to extend one leg long towards the top of your mat. And then the other will meet it so that you're in a supported, extended bridging posture. Your feet can go real wide here. You might need to adjust the block, so if it feels crunchy, adjust, or maybe go down a setting. But let your feet go wide and let your palms flip up. With every exhale, can you give a little bit more of your weight over to the block? Try to not hold or control. Really give the weight of your body, trust the block that it's not going to buckle, trust the floor and the earth that it's going to hold you. Where can you do a little bit less? And then slowly begin to draw one foot in closer to the block and the other foot so that you're in more of a traditional bridge. Come all the way up onto your tippy toes, lifting your heels, and remove your block out to the side. And then slowly roll your spine down, upper, then middle, then low back. All the way down. Begin to extend your legs long. And open your arms wide, palms can face up in a receptive mudra. Allowing your body to fully rest. We take one breath in together, and we take one breath out. Releasing any expectations we have for the rest of our day, and just allowing ourselves to flow with life. Shavasana, take rest. Begin to breathe a little bit deeper. And as your breath deepens, your energy begins to float back into your body from the ether. When it feels right, you can extend your arms and legs long, big stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest and roll to one side, planting a hand, a palm on the earth in gratitude. And then pressing your way all the way up to a seat. Bringing your hands to heart center and bowing your brain to your heart. Thank you, mind. Thank you, soul. Thank you, body, for practicing today, for showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed this spicy flow with our blocks. If you enjoy classes like this, please consider subscribing to my channel or sharing with a friend so that we can practice together all the time. And if you'd like to learn more from me, come on a yoga retreat, do a one-on-one training, all of that information is on my website at jrockyoga.com, and I'm on Instagram at jrockyoga. I'll see you next time.